The theme of this session is Music Beyond Borders, focus on global themes in ODR music. We have amongst us various eminent personalities, Ms. Adyasha Das, Ms. Susmita Das, Mr. Omprakash Mohanty, Mr. Bibhu Das, Mr. Debasis Mohapatra. I welcome everyone to have your seat. I welcome you, madam, on behalf of 7th Art and Odisha Literature Festival. I request Dr. Adyasha Das to moderate the session. Please, madam.
Namaskar, very good afternoon to all of you present here, and welcome to this extremely interesting session of Music Beyond Borders, Global Themes in Odia Music. Well, I've heard about multitasking, but I came here as a panelist and suddenly being thrust with the, I think, very important responsibility of anchoring, a session where we have such stalwarts is actually, quite a frightful thing. However, I'll try to do my best. I think, let me start by thanking on behalf of all my panelists here, Sri Manu Das, the curator of Odisha Art and Literature Festival, for being loyal to the wedding of music and literature for the last many years. It's now a common thing to come across sessions on music and literature festivals, but a literature festival conducted in Odisha, religiously featuring a session on music, literature, the packages of music, the changes in music, etc., is definitely a welcome trend. Second, let me also have the immense privilege of welcoming the huge personalities that we have in the panel today. Let me start with Sri Debasis Mohapatra, Sri Omprakash Mohanty, Sri Bibhu Das, and Susmita Das, all of whom are celebrated names, and they are very, very established in their own fields, all of whom have kept the pursuit of music alive, accepting the changes that has happened in the world of music and literature with the passage of time. Now let me come to the first part of the topic, that is music behind borders. Music, of course, is all around us. Just before coming, I was reading an article which talks about the birds tweeting, the frogs croaking. Is there a music in that? Or what we are today calling as animal music. So there is a sound, a vibration, a rhythm, and a mood that is conveyed in all kinds of sounds. So naturally, if the animals speak to us and we find it magical, if the birds are tweeting and it adds a flavor to the morning, think about what music does to our lives. Music is a part and parcel of our entire life. And when we talk about world music, now we come to the topic that world music is a language we speak that goes beyond borders, geographical borders, man-made borders, cultural borders. Whether it is rock we are talking about, or classical, fusion, or contemporary music, whatever the form may be, these musical forms wrap themselves around us. And then it defines the mood of our day, our life, our journey. So if we take this, I think I will now start off by putting the questions. I have thought of 3 rounds basically in this panel so that it will be liven up all of your moods. The first will be an experience sharing round where basically you all will be talking about global music. The second would involve a little bit of singing. You are all very lucky that we have great singers among us, and we should never let go of this opportunity. And the third will again involve music, singing. So my first question will go to Sri Debasis Mohapatra. Now, in quantum physics, we have been told that all of us are just a bundle of vibrations. And music touches us in various parts of our body, not just the brain, because a whole lot of research has been done on brain mapping and what music does to the different regions of the brain and mind. I think you all know that we are talking a lot about healing, wellness, mind, and music today. So, sir, as a passionate activist of music, I will call you, because you have tried out a huge repertoire. It's not just one form of music that you have pursued. As a performer, as a composer, as a creator of music, do you believe in the fact of music crossing borders? And if so, what are your views?
Thank you, Adyasha. Thank you, the Holy Publications and Mr. Manu Das. And of course, I'm delighted to be sharing the stage with people of my own liking, passion, and activities, whatever you call. All of us know each other so well and interact so frequently in music. So let's start with Adyasha. To my mind, whether music does music has a border? Why should you call music beyond borders? I personally consider music is the language of the soul. So, if you're talking of physical borders, yes, music beyond Odisha up to India, geographical borders, beyond India, the world, and beyond world, the universe. So music is universal. So the language, I consider music is the language of the soul. It touches every part of our body, mind, and soul, every minute of our life. There is music in nature, and all our musical sounds are derived from nature, as everybody knows. It's common knowledge, so I need not elaborate on that. And it has been scientifically proved beyond all doubts that even plants have life and they have love for music. You play music in front of one plant and don't play music in front of another similar plant. The plant in front of which you are playing music every day will grow healthier and faster than the other plant. This has been proved beyond doubt. So, music has no borders for me, and if you're talking of beyond borders, I will elaborate that. How we have imbibed. I will restrict myself to Odia music. So how Odia music has been enriched by global influences. That I will come to in the second stage, isn't it? Okay? Thank you.
Yeah, I think I will agree with you that yes, indeed, music is language of the soul, but here we are talking about not just geographical boundaries, but more importantly, cultural boundaries, because I think you all will agree with me that music is after all a cultural creation. And as culture progresses and changes with each generation, culture is redefined, so the same happens to music as well. I think from the era of the traditional genres of music that we had, till the present day, I think we were just talking about a rap and how globalization has opened up the doors. And so we are experimenting with various forms of music. Sitting in Bhubaneswar, we are experimenting with the forms of music that is happening in the West. We are talking about an assimilation of that kind, which I think has a lot of benefits. Of course, like in every case, you're walking on a sword. You have both the aspects. So now, when we are talking about global music, we also are talking about fusion music. Because I think, I was just checking on the website about global music, and I came across a lot of global music concerts that have been done in connection with Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, in which everywhere they have put together American performers, European performers, Indian performers, made a blend of the music, and I have a little bit of statistics here. And I'm not going to talk about popular and well-known bands because everyone knows about them, but I will talk about a relatively unknown music band called Michael, who founded the Indo-European Chamber Youth Orchestra. And they they had a musical tour of Muslim nations like Iran, Iraq, Syria, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, and they broke the travel ban to these countries and carried the first concert there. And they made a blend of the music of those regions with the American music. We also have a whole lot of concerts today, festivals and music, which are talking about international collaborations. So now we are coming to the craft of music, the way music is created. And for that, I think none other than the very reputed, well-known composer we have with us. I would actually like to call him a singer first and then a composer, and of course a writer as well, because he writes his own songs. But as a composer, And I know, I will share a personal experience with you. I was doing a song written by my mother, and I asked him if he could bring, I don't know how many of you have seen Dr. Zhivago, which is a very famous movie, intensely romantic movie, which carries some wonderful songs, but the most important is Lara's theme. So I went to him and said, I want Lara's theme in my song. We are talking about globalization, and we are talking about assimilation. Lara's theme is a song shot in Siberia. And the song goes, and it's a beautifully picturized song. So he said, why are you interested for Lara's theme? Let me give you Adyasha's theme. And he has composed a wonderful track. If you are listening to that track, you'll probably think you are in Siberia in the same train. So that's the power of music. So my question to you, sir, is what do you think about fusion music? Do you really think it's a carrier of global music? Are we talking a universal language here?
Thank you, Adyasha. Thank you, everyone. Though the listeners are very less in number, but still, those who are present here, I think they have a special inclination towards music and all. So how far global music is concerned, those were the days when we were dependent on this puja release gramophone disc. Now the technology is changing every day, every minute, so to say. So there is a huge lack of music medium. It was gramophone once, then cassette took its place, then CDs, DVDs. Now, situation is completely different. We don't need any device to play our music. Directly, we can access those music from the internet. We can go for a streaming. So how far these physical borders are concerned, music beyond borders, I don't think absolutely there is any border is existing. Now, if I will relate it, it is all one family. We are living on a globe. The same globe is being shared by all the musicians of the world. And how far fusion is concerned, it is obvious to have fusion in our music because previously we had very less chance to get exposed to international music. Now, those barriers are no more prevailing. So when we make music, original tune is one, that is the discretion of the music composer. But however this music instrumental part is concerned, we are dependent on global music, or else our music will not be palatable or will be accepted by the listeners all over the globe, because our musics are also exposed to the rest of the world through these various platforms like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. So now we'll have to think in a global way, because our music is not confined to our state only. So entire world is watching what is there. So unless and until we compete in a global platform, we cannot establish our melodies, because when we think of our folk music, which is our strength, Odisha dance is a form, that is a performing act, that is dance, that is a separate thing, that is globally accepted. But still, I'm waiting for those golden days when people will be accepting our melodies in global context. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that was very relevant. In fact, you said that yes, we need to be global, and yes, we need to repackage. And if you look all around yourselves, if you look at us, the way we dress, I think an example of that also is there in every aspect of life. My next question would be to Susmita Das. I think we are all very happy about the fact that she has recently been awarded the Kendra Sangeet Natak Academy. I think we all can clap for that. Heartiest congratulations to you, ma'am, and I think your best half is also there in the audience, so thanks to you for being the support always. My question, as a singer and as a performer, and especially you have performed all over in the sense of geographical boundaries. You have performed at the state level, at the national level, you've performed internationally. Now, if we say music is a cultural product, music has been carried from one culture to another through the diaspora community. You have interacted with several Odia diaspora in several countries that you have traveled. What do you think are the changes that come about in this passage of music? Passage to India is a very popular movie. We are now talking about passage from India. When a song goes, like Rangabati, for example, I think came up in various versions. Rangabati as a folk song of Sambalpur and being popular in Odisha, and then India we understand. But then it went out and we had rap versions and we had, I think, what is that called? Zumba versions and all kinds of things. So what would you say? Is this beneficial? Is this good? Or do you think it is, probably devaluing the song?
First of all, good afternoon to all. Actually, ମୁଁ ଆଜି ବେଶୀ କଥା କହିବିନି, ଅଳ୍ପ କଥା କହିବି କାରଣ ବହୁତ ଜୋରେ କାଶ ଥଣ୍ଡା ଦୁଇଟା ଲାଇନ୍ ପରେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ I started coughing. Okay, anyway, to the point, I'll go to the point only. Music has no language barrier for me. I traveled all over maximum places, like I performed in Hindi, Odia, Bengali. For me, wherever I go, normally in my basket for that program, 25% of my music list will be in Odia. Because I try to sing my own song there, even if I sing Hindi or Bengali, whatever. So, but there also I've seen the people, they understand, they like our Odia songs. And my song, I try to perform my song. So based on poems, folk, issue-based songs, whatever. So, like Rangavati, one of my songs is Onka Vonka Bate Aji Mona Hajila. You will not believe, Adyasha, I have seen many places, even if they didn't understand the language, they try to perform on my song, the Chennai. Once I'll tell you the story about the Chennai. Chennai, they called me for a program. Before my song, they were singing that song. Anka Vanga song in there, whatever they want to do, they sing and they danced in that song. So they really liked it, that's why. So music has no language barrier, like Rangavati. I have seen so many forms of Rangavati. So music has no language, no barrier for that any language, and it should, whenever it reaches the heart of the people, they, on my viewpoint of view, they will listen to it. They'll appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I think basically then you are welcoming the passage of music to outside cultures, just like we are also assimilating music from other cultures. And the example that you gave about people dancing to your song, it brings to my memory another celebrated composer, Mozart. The symphonies of Mozart are not just heard in museums or in high-class concert houses, but even on the roads and the streets of Europe, where a lot of people who are actually asking for money with their performances are playing those symphonies. Of course, the packaging is different, but the music remains. So yes, in that sense, it is universal. We have one more, very important person with us, Shri Bibhu Das, whom I have thought is, in music, for the existence of music, we need institutions. And he was one of the persons who was responsible for founding the Acclaimed Mohanty Foundation, and year after year for reviving the songs of Akshay Mohanty, the legend, which we love so much. In fact, my first interaction of Shri Bibhu Das was through his song Ekoi Mandire Dipa Jaluthile on the radio. So welcome to the panel. And since you have just informed me that you have come from the recording studio, that you were recording few songs, my question will be about that. Now let me come to the consumption. Who consumes our music? You all are consuming the music right now? So we must understand that there has been certain changes in the music consumption patterns of late. So unless, as the composer, as the singer, as the producer, we understand that, who are we making the music for? Okay, I am very fortunate that I am sitting with my composer who probably addresses that issue first. Who are we composing the music? So now let me tell you about some of the important things that have changed the music, revolutionized the music scenario. Like, you have music streaming websites about which Mr. Mohanty has mentioned, like Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, etc. And consumers have a wealth of music at their fingertip. You all are holding smartphones. You have access to that as well. Then you have multi-track recording. You have auto-tune. You know, things which are now revolutionizing the singing concept. Now, I'm not even talking about a singer's, story. Digital software, MP3 players, iPods, digital streaming software, loop pedals, smartphones, etc. So in this kind of a scenario, do you think it is very easy to be influenced by other patterns of music from outside? I mean, is there a loss of originality in this process? Like, for example, Odia folk music. There is an authenticity to it. So is there a chance that we add on a lot of, music to it just because we are exposed to more international music?
Thank you, Adyasha. I'll answer your question later on. But to add to my colleagues sitting over here, basically I'm a playback singer, and to my luck only I have sang in Odia films, that too in some of the Bengali spots. Beyond than that, I have not sung in for any other languages. My point of view is the acceptance of Odia song. When, as you said, that because of this internet, when a song is being released, after 5 minutes, we are getting calls from different countries, all NRIs, not other people. They are speaking about we heard this song since long, so thank you very much, you have revived this song. So other than that, the acceptance of Odia song beyond boundary is an issue. Let me say, in music 3 parts is there. Singing, main thing is composition, and the lyrics. Lyrics is the backbone. Because of our language, Odia, many people say that, yes, that's the fact that all the Indian languages are derived from Sanskrit. But Odia is such a language, only our neighboring state, Bengalis, and to some extent Assamese, they understand Odia. Beyond than that, most of the other state people, they don't understand this language. So understanding the lyrics of the song is an important thing. So that is our drawback, first thing. Yes, as you said that Rangavati is a rhythmical song based on folk. So for that reason, people have enjoyed the music, not the lyrics, the singing and the rhythm. For if you want to make this thing globalized, yes, we have to make certain rhythmical song, and then those songs should be based on folk, Odia folks. Maybe that may bring some future to Odia songs. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for a very innovative orientation to the answer you have given. Definitely you spoke, because this is a lit fest, so it is very extremely important that you brought up the question of literature. And yes, the essence of a good song is always the lyrics. Okay, but the packaging of the lyric again, which audience is addressed to. At the same time, let me also tell you that there are financial implications when we are talking about producing a music for a world audience, translating into various versions. There are financial implications. So I have attended conferences where I have sung in Odia songs, and I have asked the audience to guess the mood, and they have been able to do it. So music communicates without the constrictions of language. But I think at the end of the first round, we stand wiser, definitely, because we have addressed the issue of global music from various points of view, from the diaspora point of view, from the creation and crafting point of view, from the point of view of the literature or the lyrics, and from the point of view of being a soul song, that world music pertains to the soul. Let's now go to the second part of our theme, that is global themes in Odia music. Does Odia music address themes which are also addressed by song makers, singers in other cultures of the world? And I think this is very interesting because it does. I think you know. And in this, I will request my eminent panelists to please open up their vocal cords and sing, because I think the listeners may be less, but I have always believed in this dictum that small is beautiful. So all of you beautiful people in the audience are listening to us, and I think you will find it an extremely wonderful experience when you hear all of them singing. I'm not even looking at the watch, so you can sing. When we look at global themes in Odia music, to my limited knowledge, and of course all of you will add on to it, we have had a lot of songs on protests. Music has been a part of everything, not just love. Of course, love is a universal theme, and love again is a huge spectrum because it has several shades. You have the motherly love, then you have a romantic love, and we have a lot of people here who have sung about love, they'll all sing. But yes, it has also been a part of protests and for advancement of social justice. And in Odia also we have similar songs. And I think I will start off by giving you an example of the patriotic flavor. Remember, we are not talking about remakes or copies. Actually, copy is a bad word. It's an influencer. A song which influences. Inspire is even a better word. Yeah. So, we have a lot of songs in English which have their remakes or inspirations in Odia or Bengali or whatever. But we are talking here about themes. And patriotic theme, I think all of you here in Odia, from Odisha, there are a lot of songs in the patriotic theme. And there are also a lot of songs in the patriotic theme. When you think about patriotism, it's not about a drum rolling and a marching order and a song like that, though we also have songs like that. But patriotic flavor can be extremely sweet. I will give you an example of two songs. Chota Chota Aur Pati Ke. I'll just sing so that it'll kind of lead the way for others. I'll sing one in Odia, and the other one is Edelweiss. Edelweiss is a statement of Austrian patriotism in the face of the pressure put upon them to join the navy of the Nazi Germany. Talking about long time back, but then these two songs are for that. The Odia song first. Srusti re jahi puspa barase se desa amari amari desa Triranga jahi rangi ullase se amari bharata varsha srushti re jahi. This is the Odia how it goes, and you can notice that it's a very sweet and lilting number as against the fast-paced numbers. The English one is Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, soft and bright, you look happy to meet me. Ocean of love where you gloom and blow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. These are two shades of the patriotic flavor. I'm sorry about the my ringtone, which was not... No, it was not in the same scale. That was the problem. We move on now to Sri Debasis Mohapatra, and he has a storehouse of songs. So over to you, sir, about global themes. What are the themes in Odia which are globally there, and some songs?
Thank you, Adyasha. Talking of global themes, what we mean by global themes, what we understand by global themes, and how it is relevant to Odia music. So what are the global themes, basically? Say environment, education, health, hate, intolerance. So, I'm a very small man, I know very little about music. So I categorize all Odia music into three main segments. Premo, Biroho, ଆଉ ବିଦ୍ରୋହ. ପ୍ରେମରେ ଭକ୍ତି ବି ଆସିବ ପ୍ରେମରେ ମାନେ ଭକ୍ତି ଗୀତ ପ୍ରେମ ଭିତରେ ଆସିବ ଆଉ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ଗାଳି ଦେଉଛୁ ସେଟା ବିଦ୍ରୋହରେ ଯିବ ବିରହ ଇଜ୍ ଏନ୍ ୟୁନିଭର୍ସାଲ ଥିମ୍ so global imbibing global themes imbibing global poetry into our music imbibing global tunes into our music. It has been there for many, many years. I'll cite you a small example. You must have all known about T.S. Eliot's Wasteland. His famous poetry, The Burial of the Dead. April is the cruelest month, bringing lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. A century later, Jivanananda Pani, Jivan Pani, wrote, Nirimo mohe phaguno, phutao na ghaso phulo, e dharaaro mora mati pore. Adinor meghomaya diyo nahi chahalai chaini do ankura akhire nirimomo he phaguno. What a fantastic take on T.S. Eliot's poetry. April is the cruelest month, nirimomo he phaguno. So like that, when we think of global tunes coming into Odia music, let's see beyond Odisha and think of nationally. Global tunes, of course, me too will speak about that. He has a fantastic repertoire. Indian tunes can be similar, whether it is in Odia, Hindi, Bengali, because mostly based on ragas. Whenever it is on the same raga or similar raga, it will sound similar. But to be inspired by one particular song or one particular raga and create another masterpiece is something which I'd like to speak. Like that was one of the classiest examples of imbibing English poetry into Odia song. This is the classiest example of a most popular thumri into a widely accepted Odissi song. All of you must have heard about Kakaru sajne aaye na balam tadapat biti more un bina ratiyan the great Sangit Sudhakar Balakrishna Das, he converted, it was of course based on the same raga, Vairavi, Sindhu Vairavi. He converted into his own style and composed the best Odissi song. You see, whatever you may say, there are hundreds and thousands of traditional Odissi numbers. But if you have ever heard Sangit Sudhakar Balakrishna Das perform Bitila to Jamini, you would know what I mean. Bitila to Jamini, Moudila Kamini, Bitila to Jamini, Moudila Kamini, Bitila to Jamini. The whole song is a long one. I will not get into this. Then you see, deriving inspiration from other languages or directly using other languages in Odia music. It has been so effectively done in a few ways. Like I'll cite you an example. There is a film song in film Nuabo, 1962. आज को 60 वर्ष तले से फिल्म होता दिल देबी रे बसे भी नहीं तोते दिल रो मंजिल रे दिल देबी अच्छा इमेजिन दिल बदलले आपण हृदय जदि लगेबे एठी एटा लागिबो हृदय देबी हबनी the whole song the mood of the song required that another language be brought into the fold of Odia. Now there are, of course, any Odia song you pick up, it will be 25% Odia and rest of the thing other language. In the same song there was another number. Aha gunj uthi sahnai re मियाँ बीबी राजी नवरंगे साजी देखो सुहाग रात फिर आई रे. The classic example of Hindi language being used so beautifully. Then inspiration. When you talk of inspiration, Acclaimed Mohanty got inspired by a famous Harry Belafonte song. There is a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, there is a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, and he converted into a fantastic Odia song. Mathiya re gote kona lo sariya, mathiya re gote kona. So you see, these kind of inspirations, that is why I feel that music does not have any boundary. It is the language of the soul, and we can imbibe inspiration, language, feelings, the music, tunes. Like I can tell you that Lara's theme from Dr. Zhivago and Love Story and James Bond. Any music lover will tell me that these three theme music is not remembered. I remember all three. Lara's theme, Love Story, as well as James Bond theme music. So, music has a global acceptance. So, it is only requires your listening and how you listen to music. Mostly it is for entertainment. So, the entertainment part, I talked about the various influences. Yes, the entertainment part will come back. Of course, global themes like environment, all that people have made songs. Gocho upare bahut odia gita hoiche. Gocho tie mu gocho tie tumori pori pilati bhalo kari motor moro jatone pani dei bodhoutubo ityadi ityadi. And of course, then education, we had done a song Gyanaro Surja Amere Heba Sikhyaro Pradipa. These are all made for creating awareness amongst people on global themes or issues like this. So the list is endless. It will be terribly time-taking. We'll come back to entertainment later. Is it sufficient to make the point?
Sure.
Thank you.
The point is made and well taken. I think I must thank you for those brilliant examples that you have given, and only you could have, linked together all this. And it shows also that you are, you have really given the topic a lot of thought. So thank you very much for reminding such wonderful treasures of songs to us. As I move on to Shri Omprakash Mohanty, again to question, because he's a creator, he has made many of us, sing beautiful numbers. So you would also be able to tell us about themes. But before I hand over the mic to you, let me also remind you, as a tourism professional, I teach tourism management. Destinations, places, land is another common thing. Universal songs, regional languages also you find like, and the best example is Odia muhi, Odisha mora desa, ehi desa re janama mora, ehi desa re basa. I remember singing this in school. But there was this instant connect, and we felt filled with patriotism. At the same time, you have this huge hit. By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion, the Bonnie M hit. So as you can see, the list is endless, as you rightly said, the time is not. So with this, I hand it over to Sri Mohanty.
If I will start giving example of global influence in Indian music or Odia music, borders and all, these are all, juggling of words. The very simple thing, we are living on the same planet. And prior to our colonialism, when Britishers, they were not here, specifically we had no birthday song. That was not part of our culture, like cutting cakes and singing a song. We had a different version of celebrating birthday. But after Britishers, they came, they taught us something. The language we are speaking right now, English, which is not our mother language. But our constitution has been adapted in this language, so English is no more a foreign language for Indians. And birthday song is not only popular in India, it is a global song. Wherever you celebrate your birthday in any country, any corner of the world, happy birthday to you. We have adapted it. This is the simplest thing. And another example, there's a song by Pete Seeger, We Shall Overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. And beautifully it is accepted by all the Indians. Hum honge kamyab, hum honge kamyab, hum honge kamyab ek din. Oh, man mein hai vishwas, pura hai vishwas, hum honge kamyab ek din. These are all beautiful examples of adaptation and all. And talking about adoption, not talking about Acclaimed Mohanty, it's not possible because I belong to his clan. He taught me so many things. And he made some songs, as Debasis Mohapatra was saying, adapting Balefante. And he adapted another song, which is a very famous number of Acclaimed Mohanty. And as long Odia music will be there, this song will be remembered. Like Puff the Magic Dragon. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Chandramalli hase चित्रलेखा उठे लज्जनत मुखे तार हाय रक्त जबा फुटे. Everybody, चंद्रमल्ली हसे चित्रलेखा, sing along. लज्जनत मुखे तार हाय रक्त जबा फुटे. And another example I will give you. While I was composing for Susmita, that was Maya Darpan, by taking the beautiful poems of the legendary poet Dr. Maya Dharman Singh. There was a song, Irani Kishori. So when we thought of making that poetry, giving a shape as a song, I thought Irani Kishori immediately struck to my mind. So let me have this song with some Islamic tint, because the main character of that poem is a small girl from Iran, Irani Kishori. So we did it, and we have adopted a certain pattern of music of Islam area, and that has been accepted by all. And few of my friends, those who do not understand Odia language, by listening that song, they used to ask me, is it about a lady or a girl of this Iranian belt or what? I explained, okay, yes, there was a street performer who was performing this, and Maithar Mansingh got, inspired by that girl, so he wrote a poem on that. And this is called adaptation. And global, as I said earlier, we believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire world is one family. And the state we belong, the Lord we worship, is not regional, like Puri Natha, Kotaka Natha, Odisha Natha. He's Jagata Natha. So our vision should be very broad. We shouldn't be confined to regionalism and all. So in global context and how our music is concerned, Beethoven, Mozart, all of them, they have composed several symphonies without words. Music itself is the language. They have composed various symphonies. And when we listen those classic forms, we can relate about the theme. So lyric is one part, that is fine. But music itself is the language, and how far global music is concerned, it is all, because we have limited notes, sa re ga ma pa dha ni, or the same notes they say do re mi fa sol la si do. So it's the same. So I don't think there should be any barrier. Music itself is so transparent, so it can influence anybody on the earth.
I think you definitely have done a wonderful job in influencing everyone here. Thank you very much. But yes, some more beautiful examples of global themes we have found in Mr. Mohanty's version. And we move on now to Susmita, and I will request you to also tell us about your journey in music and what themes you have encountered in creating your music that also have global reflections.
It's a wonderful topic, really. Omprakash Mohanty jemti kahile, first ru ame Mayadarpanro. आज तो मोर गीत गाइबार ना तेणु मु दी चार लाइन कहबी आ जहाँ भी गीत अच्छी मु ओमप्रकाश महांती और आद्याशा कहबी से मो तरफ गाइबे कारण 3-4 लाइन पर संगे संग कफिंग आरंभ हो. So I started my journey with Mayadarpan, where the Iranian song was there, Iranian tune. Then आमे दी चारटा बहुत जगह कला पर folk रे अच्छी हमरो गोटे Spanish folk थिला गोटे सारी रे. So I did that. Then Umar Khayyam, I sang the Umar Khayyam Rubayat, Umar Rubayat. And 3-4 other things I have done. It's beyond Odia. There is global issue. I did, lots of people must have known about my other things. Other than poems, I do a lot of social issues. So like Prithvi Manthan, I did 2 years back, it was on the climate change. Omprakash Mohanty is here, he has done it. And on women empowerment, I did a lot of videos on music videos on that. And like recently, 3-4 years back, it is not published yet in Odisha, Yoginis. It's on the 28 songs, Midway has done it. It's written by Hara Prasad Das. It's about the woman empowerment. So for me, music is not only confined within Odisha. You have to go beyond that, then you have to open up your ear, nose, eyes to catch the good things, good essence from other language and other places. So if Mituvai can sing for me 2 lines, because Adyasha already told me that you have to open up your vocal cord. That song, you will sing that Mayadarpandra, if you can remember that. No? But you can, no. Or climate change, you can say. Sorry, I'm not able to talk, that's why I'm bothering you people.
No, actually, the problem is that I don't remember when I make songs.
You can, no.
So
You can do lots
I
of
don't
things.
remember the lyric. That is that.
Yeah, you just, some music don't have
Okay, yeah, that's true. But sorry, I pardon. please pardon me if I make any mistake. I do remember a few lines. I can sing that. Irani ki sari, Irani ki sari, Irani ki sari. By listening this specific humming or anything, one can relate. This is from, it is influenced by some Islamic music. And another song, and this is a nice thing, Susmita just reminded, this Yogini cult, I'm the luckiest composer. I got the opportunity to compose 32 Yoginis, all independent songs for Susmita, and 32 more to go, 64 Yoginis. And I'm the same composer. Those lyrics are written by the great poet Haraprasad Das. And I'm so lucky and privileged. I got another chance from Adyasha. She made 2 songs on Yoginis that was written by the legendary
now
writer.
He has a mastery over Yoginis.
No.
Give him a big hand of applause.
So really, I'm lucky because I got the opportunity to compose song of our great Debasis Mohapatra, Dr. Adyasha, Susmita, Bibhu Das. So I feel privileged because very rare composers are there, those who make songs for all these panelists. So I am lucky. And another song I made for Susmita, that is, I took it from Sambalpuri folk music. I never did anything. I just kept the song as it is in form. Simply I have changed the lyrics written by Mohit Chakravarti. I'll be singing few lines. Aji rati katu thila kaha sapne ka sapne aji din sare nahi kari just let me know the lyric. That's the problem with me. I don't remember the lyric because is there any composer around us? The person who makes songs, every day you'll have to create something new. And it's very difficult to remember all the lyric. I do remember the tune, but I don't remember the lyric, whatever. So these are all things she contributed. That is Golaro. That is a form. Is there any one from Western Odisha? Yeah, there is a form called Golaro. Dara, 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 Golaro. This is the original form. Got it?
I'll request Omprakash Mohanty to
continue.
sing.
We'll come back to the song in the third round. We have one more speaker in this round. So, well, as you can see, music is a storehouse, and actually, we have one session, so we'll try to do justice to that.
Unfortunately, you have 5 singers here. So each of us can sing for 3 hours on various things.
Yeah, so I would also like to just continue here. Again, my experience of doing this, we'll continue. Yes, the Yogini songs that he was mentioning, I have carried these songs all over the world because Yogini cult belongs to several places in the world. There are similar cults all over. And I have taken actually 2 destinations because as I told you, I carry tourism in my songs. One is Hirapur and the other one is Ranipur Jharial. And in both, the music is the greatest asset of the song. I'm lucky that I was a singer in those songs, but anyone who comes in to sing probably would benefit from it, because again, yes, they are global. I have performed these songs abroad and I have received a lot of interest for them because the music has spoken, not the language. So if you have forgotten, that's absolutely understood. परवर्ती जहाँ को मुझे भी मैं तांको गीत रे ही आह्वान करी कारण तांको आमे अक्षय महांती बोली जानू सो कौन गाइबा प्रीति नुहे सीता पलकर स्मृति स्मृति नुहे सीता अधा लेखा गीते बाकीटा आपण कहिबे
हेलो
निझुम रातिर साथी
निझुम सर लिरिक्स मन नथियो मो अलगा गोटे गीत गाइ देबी
ओवर टू यू
ने मो गोटे आई वांट टू शेयर वन ऑफ माय एक्सपीरियंस मो जो ग्लोबलाइजेशन विषय कहउछंती इन वन ऑफ आवर रिकॉर्डिंग व्हिच वाज इन एचएमबी स्टूडियो अक्षय महांती वाज द कंपोजर एंड आई वाज द सिंगर देयर सो we went to the managing director's room, HMB studio managing director's room. Then I found to my surprise, lot many records of Akshay Mohanty was on the table. So I thought maybe since the MD knows that Akshay Mohanty is here, so he wants to give all the records to him. So I noticed that. Mukeli Khoka bhai, apanko record guta keti thwaiji. So Akshay Mohanty also took that day. Maybe they will present it to me. So then when we were about to pick that thing, so the gentleman said, no, those are not for you. Then why is that you have collected one? Now a big music director is here and he has asked all your records. He is carrying all these records to his library. To my surprise, R.D. Burman came after 5 minutes. And then he picked all the things and he said, Akshayji, I used to listen all your songs. So that is my experience, and so these I mean all songs are based on 7 notes, sa re ga ma pa dha ni. So all composition based on that. So there are lot many imports or exports are there. Some Odia songs they also adapt those things. Jemse what I kahibi nanhasa panchi re tu boyasara krishna chuda rang tuma mandanu he ये जाइए सेठू सेमती टिके टिके छंद चेंज करिकी नहीं छंती जमते बाबू होई जे बे काबू कल ये पुराना गीत चांचुरा के लाए ये सब आगे सेमती जाए सब जगह रे जाए एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट हुए एटा को एक्सेप्ट भी करंती समझते मोर गीत रु कहि देबे इंस्पिरेशन यस सेटे जिंस जाए
हेलो The classiest example of is that of Dada Burman, S.D. Burman. Piya to se naina lage re, moli mala syamo ku debi, mono to sibi. What more you want? We are getting inspired. They are also getting inspired. नि सुल्ताना रे प्यार का मौसम आया टिपिकल झूमर मरवन झूमर जाए एटा सेया लेट्स टिके पाक से पाक दर द द दर ड ड ड तरना प्रीतिया की ओ भैरंगते जागरते धीर किनराळता दा टिपिकल झूमर कैरी ऑन मुने पोरी गोटे गीतरु आरंभ करछि आई गॉट द ब्रेक इन द ईयर 79 मोस्ट प्रोबब्ली एंड दैट वाज द फर्स्ट सॉन्ग इन दैट सॉन्ग आई वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड एज ए सिंगर टू द स्टेट मोर सिंगिंग इंडस्ट्री एक ही मंदिरे दीप जाळुथिले दुहि तो दुहिंक पाई मु जाळुची आजी तुम पाइले तुम्हें जाल कहा पाई एक ही मंदिरे दीप जाळुथिले दुहि तो दुहि पाई
I couldn't couldn't resist. That is one of my favorites. So I just couldn't resist.
Thank you.
So I think we have had a very enriching session in which we have substantiated this theme that yes, music exists beyond borders, and there are several shades of global music in Odia. And I think we have had some wonderful renditions to go with the theme that we took up for discussion. We now are going to the summing up of the session. And for this, I will invite all the panelists to embark with me on a pure journey of melody. Only songs and nothing but songs. I request all of you to sing a mukra and one antara of any one of your favorite songs. Over to you, Debasis.
Like, again on the same theme of globalization of Odia music, we have imbibed the form of rap, and we have also imbibed other languages into this. Mami da dika kaka ki kahile mote da ki sun e biki जीवन को मारी फांकी आजी सीना दबु ठकी कौन करिबु काली की छाड़ छाड़ सुरा सखी निज पई देख टुकी घर को आण तू एमिति बहु कथारु जरुथिबो मोहु बेसी गोरी नुहे बेसी समली बेसी मोटी नुहे बेसी पतली 36 24 36 पाइले ताकू जमा करिबुनी मिस 36 24 36 पाइले ताकू जमा करिबुनी मिस आई मेट ए गर्ल एट बादामबाड़ी सी पिंदी थिला नाली चूड़ी नेली साड़ी मु कहिली छोरी ए छोरी मु चंद्र तू चकोरी देला ब्रह्म चटकणा भूली गली मुठी कणा नारी का माया कोई नहीं पाया जो पाया वो पछताया जो नहीं पाया पछताया बाबा विकी जियों का पछरे जमा हो नहीं पाया गरम गरम चारे गरम गरम There's a song I sang for a film called Lokhe Siva Puji Pai Chipo, 1992. 30 years ago, we did this song. Swarup Naik is the lyricist and music director. So this is one area where globalized music. Then of course, satires are there, social issues. Panugua khoi rogua kati, bhalo bebasayo rajaniti, are sosono sango kupriya priti. आहा की सुंदर राजनीति मणिया पानुगुआ खई रगुआ काती भल व्यवसाय राजनीति पाठ साठ पढ़िबा दरकार नाई कारखाना बसैबा दरकार नाई होटेल खोलिबा दरकार नाई एते कष्ट करिबा दरकार नाई अरे ताले कौन करिवु कहलो भाई अरे जदि कोठा बाडे बुराता राती आहा की सुंदर राजनीति मणिया पानुगुआ खईर. This song I did in 1985 for film Jaga Baliya. That was my brother Santanu Mohapatra's music and Swarup Naik's lyric. So this kind of globalization we have been doing all through. So thank you very much. We had an excellent session. Thank you, Mr. Manudas. Yes? Yes. Yes, that's a pure love song. So as I said, it is either premo or biroho or vidroho. So premo is the most overriding emotion that always happens to me or happens to most of us. All of us. झूरे आखी प्रियारा स्वप्न झूरे मन प्रियारा प्रेम किए से प्रिया कहीं प्रेम कहीं से नींद कहीं स्वप्न मन लागे कहीं मन हे मानसी मो साथी मोर किए कुह की तार नाम किए से प्रिया कहीं प्रेम पक्षी हजे नील आकाश रे नदी हजे नील सागर रे हजे झरणा नील बन रे कहा नील कबरी रे कहा नील आखि तीरे हजी गली जाने न की तार नाम दिल क्या करे जब किसी से किसी को प्यार हो जा This is vintage 1978. I was what? 25 years. Actually, my calendar has got stuck there. I am still 25, but I have got about 45 years of experience with me. Thank you.
That's right. I think in the panel today we have 25-year-old men and 16-year-old women. So,
Women never go beyond 16.
so that was again a wonderful rendition. As always, we are diehard fans of Debasis Mohapatra when he sings. I have now the immense pleasure of presenting before you a lilting duet written by Pratibha Rai, composed by Sri Omprakash Mohanty, and presented to you today by Omprakash and Adyasha. Amo milanara turata jani choki amo birahara gabhirata kali choki
amo milanara durata jani choki amo birahara गभीरता कली चकी दिया निया निया दिया तार मानी की आमो मिलनर
जी खाली नहीं जानी तार ऋण भार जी खाली दे जाने तारा अहंकार जी खाली
नहीं जाने तार ऋण भर जी खाली दे जाने तार अहंकार
जीनी नाही किछि दी नाही शीत काठ पाथर तेबे दियानिया ई जीवन की आमो मिलनर दूरता जानी छकी आमो बिरहर गभीरता कली छकी दिया निया निया दिया तार माने की आमो मिलनर. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot to my co-singer for the wonderful rendition. Move on to Susmita. I don't know, आपन पे भाई गाई भी परिबे एठी अछंती. So
मु किछि बुझी पर मत तंट एमती अधा कथा बा
ये तो एकदम हस्की वॉइस रा आशा टाइप
अच्छा मु दीदी लाइन गाई दउछि गोटे देवदास भाईंकर नहीं एक्चुअली गाई पारुनी से प्रॉब्लमटा है नहले मोर गाइबा को मु हाथ टेकी था संगे संगे इनफैक्ट आम लास्ट आम जो आसते बहुत गीत फित आम गाई सब करूँ गोटे देवदास भाईंकर गोटे थिला देवदास छोटराईंकर लक्षे थर हाँ तो सांगे लक्षे थर कटी जमती भाईना कहते प्रेम कथा ये तो प्रेमर आहुरी उबुटुबु जिनस एटा लक्षे थर हाथ सांगे लक्षे थर कटे लक्षे थर हाथ सांगे लक्षे थर कटे पिरती तोर एमिति सिंधी काठी मन को मोर पत्थर कले तथापि जाए कटे तथापि जाए कटे तथापि जाए कटे घाट को गले तुठ को गले मु लुचिले तते घाट को गले तुठ को गले मु लुचिले तते मेघ भीतर खरा परिका अनै देलो मते पिरती मोर कण कुटा काठी झट कले तू जाए मो ठक करे तोटे रियली आज तंटीटा ठक हो जाइए पूरा आउ जाऊनी थैंक यू आज रियली तंटीटा कटी पके दी मो संगे
तंटी मिट्टियाड़ को गलानी इट्स ओके लास्ट सॉन्ग ऑफ द सेशन बाय बिभु दास
मो गोटे लाइटर भेन एचे समस्त सीरियस गीत प्राय गाउछन मो तन गोटे लाइटर भेन अक्षय महांती लेखारू हसता लक्षे टका कांदिले मुह भका रागिले नाली लका रुसिले उई हुका ता घर को बाट खर्च 2.5 टंका हसता लक्षे टका ता घर को जीवा पाई बाट का बंका प्रतिभा के ठिया गोटे रसिकिया टोका जेते टोका जगिबाकू नहीं चती ठिका ताकू देखिबाकू मोर मिलुनी मौका ता झरका आड़े चाही बेकरे मोरका हसता लक्षे टका कांदिले मुह बंका रागिले नाली लका रुसिले उई हुका ता घर को बाट खर्च 2.5 टंका
मात्र 2.5 टंका but what a wonderful presentation. What 2.5 टंका you are
Thank
getting
you.
too much. So on this note we come to the end of this session. I'm sure the topic was extremely interesting. I'm sure it has found a reflection in your hearts also. Thanks a lot to the eminent panelists here for adding so much grace, so much poise and so much newness to the topic.
कृतज्ञता जणिया पे मो पाखरे भाषा नाही मो गाए किंतु बाथरूम रे नाही मु बेसी समय नेबिनी मु गोटे कारण पे ठीक आसी प्रथम कथा मु मोर समस्त को तो कृतज्ञ जनाऊँगी विशेष कृतज्ञता जनाऊँगी ओम प्रकाश बाबू को जी प्रथम तरफ 7 वर्ष आम जदिव बजे पारूँ ये आम बिकज ऑफ डिस्प्ले वरिका सिस्टम ना बोली से थीम म्यूजिक आम तैयारी कर जो मैंने देखी थे शुणी थे आम फेसबुक रे और अन्य सोशल मीडिया देचु बहुत लोग पसंद कर आउ गोटे सिक्रेट जदिव से नुहे कि कहबी आम गर्वित सुस्मिता मैडम को भारत सरकार तरफ संगीत नाटक एकाडेमी पुरस्कार दिगला यहाँ गोटे कम गर्वर विषय आम नुहे मोर से खबर पाइला पर मोर मन पड़ा मु सुस्मिता मैडम को प्रथम भाईजाग ही देखी गोटे रोटारी इलेक्शन रे सेठी मोर प्रथम भेट मु ओडिशा बाहर थी सेठी को आसीथिलु से आसिले सेठी मध्ये से गीत गाइथिले चमत्कार माने आज प्रकृत रे तांको वॉइस रो से नाही बिकॉज ऑफ तांकर गला खराब हो जाइछे जी अदरवाइज सी डिजर्व्स मोर देन संगीत एकेडमी मु कहबी आ मैडम कंग्रेचुलेशंस एंड आपण माने आगु को नियंतु ओडिशा को जेमती नहीं थिले आपणकर आसाम रो कौन से भूपेन हजारिका सेमती आपण ओडिशा को बियॉन्ड बॉर्डर कथा तो हेले से बॉर्डर आगु को नवापी मु आपण मानकु अनुरोध करी एवं ईश्वर को मध्य प्रार्थना करी धन्यवाद आपण माने एते कष्ट माने समय नहीं आसिले समस्त स्टलवार्ट मु सब माने गीत संगीत विषय गोटाए निर्बोध बोली धरी नहीं पारे ता सत्य मध्य आपण माने एठी आसिक आपण माने सब जहाँ कहले से आपण माने चिरकाल आम माने कृतज्ञ रहबू धन्यवाद.
This session was supported by Indian Oil Corporation Limited as our associate sponsor. We are grateful to IOCL.